The candle flickered in Eleanor Hayes' steady hand as she paused outside her bedroom door, the wooden frame creaking under the pressure of the thunderstorm raging outside. On the other side waited Lucas Barrett, his baseball cap clutched in his calloused hands, rain dripping from his sandy blonde hair. Those green eyes held secrets that could unravel everything she'd built in the quiet Kansas town of Willow Creek. For years, she'd worn her widow's solitude like a shield, for years of polite nods and measured routines in this cornfield-dotted community. But tonight, with lightning cracking like judgment from above, her carefully guarded life felt as fragile as the old farmhouse windows rattling in the wind. Lucas' voice cut through the door, deep and steady like the Kansas plains. "Eleanor, I can crash in the garage if you say so. Just give the word." She leaned against the cool wood, sensing the warmth from his side. The whole town would buzz by a sunrise. Deputy Harlan would have his ammunition. The Baptist women's group would have their gossip fodder. And she'd have this stolen moment to cling to when isolation crept back in. Her fingers hovered over the knob. One turn, and 2 decades of being the flawless widow would shatter like glass in a hailstorm. 3 months earlier, Willow Creek resembled every other Midwestern farm town, etched from fertile soil and fading ambitions. Eleanor stood behind the counter of her cozy bookstore, balancing ledgers with the accuracy of a woman who'd learned that books never betrayed, never vanished, never whispered empty vows in the night. The bell jingled, and she glanced up to see him. 6 feet of quiet intensity in a faded denim jacket, boots thudding softly on her oak floors. Lucas Barrett moved with the easy grace of someone who'd spent years on tractors and in fields. His broad frame filled the doorway like it belonged there. "Ma'am," he said, tipping his cap, and Eleanor felt a stir she hadn't known in years, quickening deep inside, like the first green shoots after winter. "Heard you might know about farmland for sale around here." She studied his hands as he spoke, rough from labor, yet steady, the kind that could calm a spooked animal or awaken a heart long dormant. "The Thompson spread has sections available," she replied, her voice even despite the flutter. 80 acres, solid irrigation. When their eyes locked, Eleanor saw not the predatory gleam of local widowers eyeing easy prey, but something real kinship, perhaps, like he saw beyond her pinned-up hair and sensible blouse to the spirit she'd entombed under grief. That Sunday, he slipped into the back pew of the Baptist church, cap removed, head lowered during Pastor Wilkins' sermon on virtue and the straight path. But as the congregation sang, "How great thou art," Eleanor felt his gaze warm on her, like sunlight through stained glass, and she nearly stumbled over lyrics she'd known forever. After the service, as she straightened hymnals, his footsteps approached deliberate, patient. "Mrs. Hayes," his tone carried respect that made her feel valued, not fragile. "That was some fine singing." "Thank you, Mr. Barrett." "Lucas Barrett." He fidgeted with his cap. "This might be forward, but do you know where a guy could grab a good home-cooked meal? The diner downtown's grease is killing me." Eleanor surprised herself with a chuckle. "The motel cafe isn't much better. They could ruin toast." The words tumbled out. "I always make extra for just me." And so it began, a tentative waltz of 2 souls rediscovering warmth. In her modest kitchen, Lucas shared tales of his grandma's cherry pie and the community college he'd ditched for harvest seasons. She opened up about her late husband, a decent provider, but silent as the endless fields and the echoing quiet in her home that sometimes drove her to talk to the walls. "Loneliness sneaks up on you," Lucas said, drying dishes with sleeves rolled up, revealing toned arms marked by the sun. "Makes you forget you're still kicking." Their fingers brushed over a plate, lingering just long enough to remind Eleanor she was alive. September brought whispers on the harvest winds. Eleanor sensed them in the hushed tones at the feed store, the sidelong glances during Bible study. Deputy Harlan's visits to her shop grew frequent, his badge glinting as he loomed too close. Getting chummy with that newcomer. Huh, Eleanor? Man's got no family here, no stake. Makes you wonder what he's after. Her back straightened. Mr. Barrett's a customer deputy. That's all. But the words tasted false. Lucas was more evident in how she'd swapped her drab sweaters for brighter tops, her hair loosening into soft waves that caught the afternoon light. The day it all shifted started with dark clouds. Eleanor was at her husband's grave, a ritual more habit than heartache, when the downpour hit fierce and unrelenting. She dashed to an old barn nearby, only to find Lucas emerging from the rain, shirt clinging to his chest, hair plastered. Wordlessly, he draped his jacket over her, its lingering heat a silent promise. In that dim shelter, thunder booming like accusations, they stood close. The air thickened with a scent earth, soap, raw masculinity. Eleanor, his whisper was both plea and warning. "Should I go?" she asked, voice barely audible. His hand cupped her cheek gently. "You're the most stunning woman I've laid eyes on." "I'm 45, she murmured, but didn't retreat. "And I'm 31, and utterly lost without you." The kiss was soft at first, then urgent, erasing years of emptiness. Eleanor clutched his shirt, tasting freedom in the storm. But small towns thrive on scandal. Within days, the Baptist Women's Circle convened urgently. Book sales plummeted. Kids were shooed away from her shop. The tension simmered until Deputy Harlan ambushed Lucas outside the tavern, backed by his buddies, beer fueling their bravado. "Time to hit the road, Barrett," Harlan sneered, hand on his holster. "Willow Creek doesn't need outsiders chasing skirts." Lucas' reply was calm, edged with steel. "Bought land here legit. Got the deed. As for Mrs. Hayes, she's her own person. Not on my watch." The standoff crackled with threat, Harlan's cronies shifting restlessly. Eleanor, peering from her window, saw the coiled rage in Lucas's stance, the potential for fists or worse. That night, she decided to risk everything or lose it all. The thunderstorm struck Willow Creek like divine wrath, winds howling, power flickering. Eleanor was securing her shutters when frantic pounding echoed. Opening the door revealed Lucas, drenched and shivering, his truck stuck in mud. "Sorry to bother," he chattered. "Couldn't make it back to the motel." "Get inside," she urged, no hesitation. As he warmed by the fire, Eleanor studied him, the firm jaw, firelight dancing in his hair. "You should go," he said, but neither stirred. "In this, you be swept away." The unspoken hung heavy, staying meant exposure, leaving meant peril. "Eleanor," his voice roughened. "If I stay." She approached, fingers undoing her blouse's top button. "I've been thinking you're right not caring what they say." The button popped free, then another. Lucas' eyes darkened with desire. "For years," she whispered. "For years untouched, unseen as a woman." He stood, closing the gap. "You're desired. Every church service, every shop visit, I ache for you." His hands freed her hair, pins clattering. The kiss ignited fierce, consuming. Clothes shed urgently, revealing scars and curves. "Ow!" She traced a mark on his side. "Bar fight in Nebraska." Long story. His touch was reverent, exploring with care. By her bed, he paused. "Eleanor, I've never. You're my first." The vulnerability melted her. "And you're my choice." They joined in passion, tender then intense, waves of pleasure rebuilding her shattered self. Afterward, tangled in sheets, he murmured, "I love you, Eleanor Hayes. No matter what." "I love you too," she replied, peace washing over her. But dawn brought reckoning. Mrs. Lydia Thornton, head of the Baptist group, banged on her door, voice shrill for all to hear. "Eleanor Hayes, your conduct shames this town and every good Christian." Curtains twitched as neighbors spied. By noon, her bookstore echoed empty. Pastor Wilkins visited, disappointment heavy. "This fling with that young drifter is using you, Eleanor. He'll bolt soon enough." Doubt gnawed Lucas' youth, his freedom. What did he see in her fading bloom? Evening found Lucas in her shop, face etched with worry. Heard the fallout. This is on me. Don't apologize, I was worth it. He pulled her close. Come with me. The farm's ours. Marry me, start fresh. Before she could answer, Harlan burst in, gun hand twitching, flanked by deputies. Back again, Barrett. Dug into your past trouble in Nebraska and Iowa. Married woman involved, husband scarred badly. Lucas tensed. It's twisted. She was abused. I helped her escape. When he attacked with a blade. Lies. Harlan barked. Eleanor stepped between them. Enough. This stops now. She surrendered her shop key. I'm done with Willow Creek. Take it for your meetings. To Lucas. You reminded me I'm alive. That's enough. She fled upstairs, packing amid his pleas. Don't let them break us. I'm breaking free, she called, door shutting firm. 5 months later, Eleanor thrived in her boutique in Topeka, sewing dresses, embraced by the urban Baptist circle without prying. No judgments, just independence. The bell rang. She looked up from her sketches. Lucas stood there, weary but determined, eyes locking with hers. Hello, Eleanor. Lucas, far from Willow Creek. Sold the farm. Wasn't home without you. He stepped in, sent stirring memories. Mrs. Thornton tipped me off, said Harlan's ways were wrong, even if she disapproved. I'm content here, she said, half-truth. Are you? Because I'm miserable. He neared. Still love you. Want to prove it daily. The walls cracked. Town gossip. Harlan's out-bullying caught up. Groups moved on. He knelt, ring in hand. Marry me. Let me show love's worth the fight. Eleanor gazed at the bustling street, her safe world. But in his eyes, partnership beckoned. She took the ring. Yes, Lucas. Now. No waiting. We've waited enough. He rose, kissing her deeply. They married that week in a simple ceremony, blending their lives in Topeka. Eleanor kept her shop, Lucas farmed nearby. Together, they weathered storms, proving love conquers age, gossip, and doubt. In each other's arms, they found 4 second chance etched in Kansas soil. What do you think about Eleanor and Lucas' story? Do you believe age gaps like there can work in real life? Or is society right to judge? Share your stance in the comments below. Let's debate whether love should define norms or play it safe. Your opinions keep the conversation going.